Quer aprender a tocar guitarra muito bem, igual seus guitarristas preferidos? Esse cara é um dos melhores guitarristas do Brasil e tem um método pronto que com certeza pode te ajudar a se expressar na guitarra como você nunca imaginou. E se você não gostar, tem até 7 dias para pedir seu dinheiro de volta. Confere o primeiro link da descrição e comece ainda hoje.
Eddie, so good to talk to you. And I ask everybody this thing, how old were you and where were you that music started, being a thing for you?
I think love of music. I had a couple uncles. I was the oldest of the kids, but I had a couple uncles who, I'd steal their Beatles records. I remember stealing Yellow Submarine. Woodstock had a lot of stuff. So I was 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
And in the basement we had a turntable, and they had like Sly Family Stone and all the Motown stuff. And I think I just started singing to those records. And
So you started singing first.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I picked up a guitar when I was about 12.
And so where did the road, lead you here?
Well, I kind of toughed it out for a bit, and at one point I gave myself a certain amount of years to kind of do something as a musician, and played in bands here and there, and got better at it, and then ended up in Seattle in '89.
How'd you go
I
out to
think.
Seattle?
A friend of mine, a good friend of mine, got an offer to play drums in a band up there, and they said, by the way, do you know any singers? And he threw me a tape, recorded on a 4-track that morning, like 3 songs, and sent them off, and never thought anything about it. And then a couple weeks later they flew me up to Seattle, and we started playing together. And it's funny because we've been listening to that stuff recently, because we put out some of that early demo stuff, and I hadn't heard it since 18 years ago or something, and it was interesting to hear, almost terrifying, because I don't really remember spending more than 3 or 4 hours on these 3 songs and recording them and background vocals or whatever. But it was probably in the end, I look to where I have a family now, and I get to travel, and my life's been really quite full. I think of it as like the best life I've ever lived so far, and I think, wow, that was an important 3 or 4 hours. I didn't
Yeah.
realize it at the time, which is
Yeah.
probably good, but
That's history.